and the rose bushes I could see from the window were neatly pruned. Had my dad hired someone to keep the place up? If he hadn't mentioned it to me. I turned away from the window, and my gaze caught on a framed photo on the dresser of two little girls with their arms around each other as they twirled in a field of tall grass. That field was just through the woods out back. And those girls... I pressed a hand to my heart. I'd come here for an escape, but I'd forgotten how many memories this house held. Memories I wasn't ready to face yet. I sat on the bed and checked my phone, finding texts from my best friends Courtney and Emily, as well as one from my mom, all checking to make sure I'd arrived safely. "I miss you already," Courtney had written. "FaceTime later?" "Sending you so many hugs," Emily said. "Drive safely and let me know when you get there," from my mom. After sending each of them a quick reply, I left my suitcase in the bedroom and went down the hall to the kitchen for a glass of water. The dishes were all clean and put in their right places. Who had done that? Had my dad cleaned the house when we'd come up for the funeral in November? I'd stayed behind at the hotel when he came here, not ready to see this place without Marjorie in it. I filled a glass at the sink and gulped down about half of it, parched from my drive. Then I peeked into the fridge, not sure whether it would be full of old, spoiled food. But it was empty. I'd have to go shopping before dinner. In fact, I was already hungry, but I wasn't ready to get back in the car just yet. Instead, I put my glass in the sink and went out the kitchen door, descending 3 worn wooden steps onto the patio. The rose bushes that ran along the back of the house bloomed with big pink, red, and white blossoms. More roses climbed a trellis over the patio, with 2 white Adirondack chairs beneath it. A path ran down to the stream at the edge of the yard, where a small wooden bridge connected it to the hiking trail leading into the woods. As a girl, I had loved to explore those woods. Were the trails I'd tromped down so many times still there? As I inhaled the fresh country air, I felt myself relaxing for the first time in weeks. This was exactly why I'd come to Vermont. I needed the peace and quiet here, the solitude, far from the stress of the city. I needed to be alone for a little while. I'd even deleted all the social media apps from my phone, hoping that by the time I reconnected with the larger world, my notifications would no longer be a hotbed of attention I'd never asked for or wanted. Something moved in my peripheral vision, and I turned just as an animal rushed out of the woods, dashing toward me. I inhaled, adrenaline bursting through my veins as the shaggy black creature crossed the yard, my mind screaming "bear" a moment before it barked. Oh, thank God. The dog ran at me, and I didn't even have a chance to recover from my shock before it planted its front paws on my leg, tail wagging. It was enormous, with bushy black fur like a bear. "Jesus," I muttered as I gave it a cautious pat. I liked dogs, but the way this one came racing out of the woods so unexpectedly had scared me. My heart was still pounding. Was it a stray? There was a red collar around its neck, so maybe not. Before I could look for tags, I heard a woman's voice calling from the direction of the hiking trail. "Minnie!" The dog turned its head to stare in the direction of what was probably its owner calling for it. But could an animal this big really be named Minnie? I gave it a gentle nudge since its front paws were still propped against my leg, and it dropped to all 4s, panting. I frowned. This was private property. Why was someone hiking on my grandmother's land? That was rude, even if the house had sat vacant for a while. "Minnie!" the woman called again, and the dog dashed in her direction, letting out an excited bark. I planted my hands on my hips as a tall woman with hair the color of cinnamon came striding out of the woods with another dog at her side. My heart, which was still pounding, lurched for an entirely different reason, because, oh, I knew that stride, that smile, that hair. I'd known her as a little girl, skipping through the field on the other end of this trail, and for one memorable summer when we were 16, she'd been more than my best friend. She'd been my first love, the girl whose kiss made me realize I didn't like boys. I swallowed roughly, my throat gone dry. "Taylor?"
2. Taylor. I paused with one hand holding Blue's lead. To keep listening to this audiobook for free, click the link in the description. It will take you to a free Audible trial where you can listen to this and many other books for free for 30 days.